Okay, looking at some of the assignments that you guys have turned in with the metric system, we need a little bit more help and we need a little bit more practice. So that's what we're going to do today, okay? So the first thing I'm noticing is some of you guys don't know where the decimal is. Whenever the decimal's not written down. So like, for example, if we have 3.5, you guys know where the decimal is because the decimal is listed, like it's visible, you can see it, okay? But let's say I post a number and there's no decimal. So if I had 35, some of you guys are struggling to know where the decimal is, all right? So the decimal is always at the end of a whole number. If there's no decimal, it is assumed that it is a whole number, and it is right here at the end of the whole number. We don't list the decimal numbers unless there is a decimal number to be listed. Okay, so like 35, the number goes at the end of the whole number. 135 decimal goes right there. Okay, now something else. We can add as many zeros after the decimal as we want, and we don't change the value of the number. So I can just keep adding zeros here, and no matter how many zeros I add, it's still 35. I can also add as many zeros as I want in front of the whole number, and I don't change the value. Okay, that's still 35. So as long as you're adding zeros after the decimal, you're not changing the value of the number. And adding zeros in front of the number, you're not changing the value of the number. Okay, that's really important. All right, the next thing, there's a reason why I had you memorize your prefixes and your symbols and your conversion factors, because it makes this process much simpler if you just have it memorized, okay? So if we're going to convert the metric system, the first thing we need to do is write our chart down, okay? So if you watched one of the other videos that I posted, one of the other teachers that they made, he had a really good way of memorizing your prefixes. He said, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay? And that puts our prefixes in order from our largest to our smallest. So each letter stands for something. Kilo, King stands for kilo. Hecto, or Henry stands for hecto. Died stands for deca. By stands for base. Drinking stands for deci. Chocolate stands for centi. And milk stands for milli. Okay? Remember, our base is our base units. So we have 3 base units. There's more base units, but there's 3 that we talk about. Meter for distance, liter for volume or capacity, and gram for mass. Okay? So now we have our prefixes listed from largest to smallest, going from left to right. Okay? We're ready to start converting. So let's just do an example here. So let's say we have 35 hectometers, and we want to convert it to centimeters. All right, so we are starting with 35 hectometers. So hecto, here's where we're starting. We're starting with 35 hectometers, and we want to end up with centimeters, but we just don't know how many centimeters. So here's where we want to finish. So starting here, hecto, ending here, centi. All right, so we need to count how many spots we're going to move and in what direction. So we're obviously going to go to the right, and we're going to go to the right once, twice, 3 times, We're going to go to the right 4 times. All right, so let's look at our number 35. Again, no decimal listed. So we assume that the decimal is here at the end, right there. All right, and we're going to go to the right 4 times. There's no numbers here to go to the right. Again, we could add as many numbers after the decimal and not change the value. So, all right, so we're going to move our decimal to the right 4 times. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So we end up with 350,000. Centimeters. 35 hectometers is 350,000 centimeters. All right, let's do another one, and we'll go from a small unit to a large unit. All right, so we have 41,000 milliliters. All right, again, no decimal listed. We assume it's at the end. If it's not listed, it's at the end. It's right there. And we're going to convert to deciliters. So we're starting with milliliters. So we're going to start here. And we're going to go to deciliters. We're going to finish here. Okay, so we're starting over there, we're coming this way, we're moving to the left. 1, 2, 3. This time we went left 4 spaces. All right, so 41,000. We're going to go to the left 4 times. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So my decimal goes between the 4 and the 1. 4.1. So 41,000 milliliters converts to 4.1 deciliters. Okay? We need to practice this. We need to get better at it. Okay? Face-to-face kids. Today's a good opportunity for you to come up and get help. You virtual kids, if you're struggling with this, send me an email. Tell me what you're struggling with, and I'll try and do another video to address your problems, okay? The quizzes that I post today is for a grade, but I'm going to allow you guys to do it as many times as you want. So there's no reason why you shouldn't get a good grade on this. We need to practice, all right? So you guys get to work.